I think you know when I pull out the cheap toilet tissue and I pull out the chopped up mannequin head, what is going on? It's another ISSA certification. This is a retest. I'll put the link up here or down below or somewhere where if you want to watch the original test. But this person said, "Thank you so much for letting me resubmit these shears. I hope I've done a good enough job this time. Your analysis last time was very enlightening and I realized how sloppy I'd been the first time. One thing you said puzzled me though. You mentioned that it looked like I hadn't put pressure on the pivot when I was working the rod line. And I actually had been careful to do that. So I wasn't sure what happened. I re-watched some of your videos. That's the key. And I realized I had been putting more pressure on the forward stroke, going forward, and less on the reverse stroke, which is backwards, of course. Yes, you want to put a little bit more pressure coming back and a little bit ease up going forward. This time I was careful to use heavier pressure on the reverse stroke and I think they turned out much better. So let's take a look at it. So these are the convex edge. This is the bevel. I'm going to cut, this is number 311014. So cuts dry. Cuts dry. Let's get some water. So now I'm going to spray my cheap toilet tissue with water. And what this tells me is, are all the burrs gone? Are all the nicks removed? Cuts beautifully. It's not cutting wet. You see that? I'm thinking that might be too loose. If I do a wiggle, wonder why it's not cutting wet. Wonder if it'll be a little bit better if I tighten the screw. This is a UFO tool. So this is my Sue UFO tool. So I made it a little bit tighter. Let's see if that made a difference. Although now it really feels too tight. See, it's still not cutting. So if it's not cutting this, it's telling me there's probably some burr left behind. Let me get a nail buffer. So I'm just going to see if this fixes it, because I'm kind of baffled. This is the second time doing it, and I want to see if this would be all that would take to fix it. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so this is telling me there was some burr left behind. Somehow he didn't take all the burr off. I guess I should have cut hair before I did the nail buffer. So this is cutting hair, and it cuts fine without any pushing. Here's the dry one. Perfect. So in looking at these, it's not a problem with the ride line. It was a problem with burr being left over. Now I'm thinking, and you can put a comment down here or if I'm wrong, but I see this a lot of times when people that maybe do the ride line, sharpen the outside, and then when they go back to take the outside, when they go back to take that inside burr off, maybe they go back to the stone, they work it too hard. He's putting more pressure pulling it back, but that may have pushed a little bit of metal up to the front so tiny, so microscopic, that you might not even feel it with your finger, might not even feel rough, but it was enough that it didn't cut the wet tissue. and it would create a little bit of roughness that would make it hard to slide cut. I'm going to send these back and just have these look beautiful. These look beautiful. I'm just really disappointed they didn't cut wet, but the only thing it needed was just the nail buffer, and I made it a little bit tighter. I think I'm going to go ahead and pass them because now you know when you cut with them, you may want to just kind of go over a little bit with a nail buffer. When you knock the burr off on the inside, make sure that you don't overwork it. When I first learned to sharpen shears, I would work the outside of the shear and then go and do the ride line and work it, work it, work it. And that would push some metal to the outside of the blade. And they would feel smooth, you would cut because there's no burr inside, but there's a little burr outside. And then that's what can catch on the hair or work its way over. And it's important not to leave any burr behind. Because what we're doing basically is chasing the burr. Yeah, we're chasing the burr. So I'm passing, but this is with reservations. And I will send it back to them, and I'll go ahead and send you the certificate. We'll have some, I'm making some videos a little bit closer about how to pass the ISSA. And so make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you'll see those when they come out. But overall, good job. And these look, I mean, the convex shape to them and the shine and the ride line looks good. So everything looks good. It was just a little tiny amount of burr on the outside. So good job. Not super, super great, but good job, and you pass. Now, if you think you can pass the ISSA, it's simple, but it's hard. A lot of things in life are harder than you think. You can go to our website and see about the International Scissor Sharpeners Association. It's an organization that is truly international. And we have, once you join, it's for a lifetime. You don't have to retest yourself. And we've got a lot of cool things. In fact, I didn't plan on it today because I didn't know I was going to be doing an ISSA certification, but this is my little ISSA jacket. We got cool logos, and we've got other, merchandise things with the ISSA logo. And it looks good to say, hey, I'm certified with the International Scissor Sharpeners Association. So enjoy looking at your shears, and let me send you some damaged ones and let you see what you can do with them.